What's going on, everybody? Welcome to a very special milestone episode. Milestone. You get it? Milestone episode 100 of the Sorta Interesting podcast. And welcome back to our Deadliest Warrior series, where we are reviewing movies starring the deadliest warriors in movie history. I'm Christian Patam, and with me is the once and future king. He will give you nothing and take from you everything. And he will have his vengeance in this life or the next. Myles, darling. Myles, hey, first of all, congratulations. Cheers to you. I'll see you tomorrow with cheers tomorrow. But
yes, we will.
Cheers to you, my friend. Happy 100th episode.
Centennial.
You've actually done more episodes of podcasting than I have with the real deal. So you're actually ahead of me. But we made it, man. It's been, 2 years? No, 2018, 19, 20, fucking 4 years. Jesus, 4 years of this podcast. We finally got to episode 100. We had some inconsistencies there in the middle of it, but we're here now.
Life happens, man.
Life happens. But let's get into a side podcast. I want to get into some table topics, Myles. Let's get our creative juices flowing. If you lived, oh God, here we go. If you lived to be 100, would you rather have a sharp mind or a fit body?
Did you pick that one, or did you just grab it?
No, I just grabbed it. This is a random one. I know, right? What a fucking crazy coincidence. We need to go to Vegas right now. Let's book a fucking flight.
Yeah, we fucking do.
If you lived to be 100, would you rather have a sharp mind or a fit body?
I don't if you have a fit body, don't you have to have a sharp mind to have that presence of mind that you're I don't know.
Not necessarily. I don't think so.
That's a tough one, because if I'm 100, I got 1 foot. I got almost 2 feet out the door at that point. I don't know if I want to live to 100. I don't want to see myself at 100.
First of all, I don't even think I'm going to even make it close to 100. Jesus, the way I eat and drink and everything, just come on. 100, that's a pipe dream. Come on.
That's a pipe dream. I guess at that point I would like to keep my sanity. Because
Absolutely.
At that point, I'm not driving.
I feel like this is an easy one. Absolutely, yeah.
You know, I get to keep the memories. I get to keep the my taste in music, my taste in movies. I get to watch stuff and actually, understand it. I don't know. I don't know to what extent, but I'm assuming if you got, if you're all there mentally, you can understand shit. I want to be able to understand what my grandkids are saying, or what. If I even have it.
It's tough, man, because if you have the sharp mind but you can't even wipe your own ass, it's oh God, do you really want that?
I'm pretty sure somebody's wiping it for you.
That's so humiliating though, man. I don't know if I could. Maybe at that age you don't even care if it's humiliating. You're just fuck it, whatever. Wipe my ass. I don't care. I've been wiping my own ass for 99 years. I think someone else could do it for 1 year at least.
I ain't driving myself around. Come on, Miss Daisy, get the toilet paper ready.
That's true. They need to have a fucking law for that, right? For people, is that a law where, is there a cutoff age for driving? Because, man, let me fucking tell you. The goddamn drivers out here in San Diego, oh my God, I just want to it's terrible drivers out here. But
it's not as bad. You come on, man. You come from the Mecca.
I think I'm just too aggressive.
Drivers.
Yeah, I think I'm just too used to driving.
That's that LA aggressiveness.
Exactly. I think that's what it is. People are too laid back over here in San Diego. Whenever I see someone driving 50, 40 on the freeway, and I pass them up and I do that little look, I'm like, it's gonna be a 100-year-old man. No, it's just a fucking guy my age or someone younger. I'm like, they're just too relaxed out here, I guess. It's that San Diego living.
I play a controversial game with myself. Is Asian woman or old?
I usually can tell if it is Asian if a brown Toyota Sienna. Usually I'm like, oh yeah, that's definitely that's Asian with no one else in the van, just them. Yeah.
Why is it that if you're driving a minivan, that
by the way, we're both Asian, so we can say that. It's okay.
There is no middle ground. You're either driving as slow as humanly possible as that speedometer will go, or you're weaving through traffic like a Nissan Altima.
It's the old Bill Burr, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. It was just too easy.
It's just too easy. I'm stopping in the middle of the intersection. I don't know. It's just too easy.
I know. I suck. Just
There's no middle ground. There's no middle ground whatsoever. And the older the minivan is, the more reckless the driver is.
It's true.
You notice
Yeah.
that? You know, those
Yeah.
old like white Toyota like minivans
Oh
would just be
God.
screaming through the intersections and just, oh my God. It's yeah. I think at this point in human, I don't know, as long as we've been on Earth, as
Yeah.
long as cars have been around, at this point, we need to have a cutoff age where there's so many.
What would be the
there's
cutoff
no
age for you?
excuse.
What do you think? What age?
I think 70 is a cutoff age. 70 is a cutoff age. If you want your license, annual tests.
That's what they need to
Annual
do.
test.
Yeah, I agree. Oh God, but I don't.
And you get to
I don't want to have to take that test though, because I feel like the old people would be like, "This
Exactly.
is ageism. You gotta make it for everyone." I'd be like, "No, okay, never mind. I'm out. Like, go ahead and drive. I don't want to take the test anymore." So
That it needs to be like that. It needs to be like that. You're driving a fucking weapon, okay?
True.
You could kill somebody, all right? You hear so many stories of these old people not realizing they're getting on the wrong side of the goddamn. They're going on. They're thinking the on ramp is the off ramp, or the off ramp is the on ramp. Driving on the wrong side of traffic.
they're GTAing it. Yeah.
They've never played.
You know
a
what's
day
the
in their
worst
life
is
either.
driving like at like maybe 11 or 12 in the afternoon, like right in the middle of the day where all the fucking baby boomers are out there and they're all going fucking 20 miles an hour. It's like, oh my God, you
You're
guys
like fucking move.
yeah, you guys just got done fucking eating the early bird special at fucking, at Coco's or whatever, and now you guys are on the road trying to get your goddamn scripts from fucking
They were there when that opened, and they're there so they stop. They cut you off on that unlimited coffee.
they just stay there for the coffee, don't order anything else, and it's just like great. The tips are gonna be fucking trash for the goddamn waitresses. They're like, great, you treat me like shit, you're not gonna fucking tip well, and you're probably gonna kill someone on the way home. But I feel like this is a gimme. I gotta go sharp mind here.
Yeah, sharp mind.
I've had
Sharp mind over
too many
everything.
people in my life who are old with not sharp minds, and it's sad to see, man. It's
It is
really
really sad.
unfortunate to see. Yeah.
Because because on the outside looking in, you realize like, man, that's basically a shell. You know, that's just like somebody that I knew.
Yeah.
They don't know who I am, but I remember who they were, and they don't grasp that. I guess it's like peace of mind kind of thing, that silver lining where they don't realize how
Yeah.
bad it's gotten, so they don't.
I feel like if they did know, they'd be like, just fucking, just cut it off.
That would be
It's
me.
not good. Yeah.
You know, that's I'm grandpa in fucking a beer fest. I'm pulling that plug on my own. Good night, Popo.
I feel like I feel like if your body doesn't work but your mind's still there, like you're still fun to be around. Like you don't have to use your body to be fun and hang out with the old grandkids, like you said. But God, yeah, it's just too sad to see people who lost.
Yeah.
I feel like I think about that all the time. Like after I puff a little too much of the old Chiba there,
Oh
I feel
my
like
God.
I'm like when I think about it, I'm like, man, what if I lose my mind? That would fucking suck.
Jesus, oh boy,
Like,
this thing
is there
too far
any
into it.
fucking coming back from that? Like, is there?
I think after like 80, I guess we'll push 85. I'm strict DNR. You know.
I also
I'm
think
strict.
that our generation is going to handle that a lot better because the generations before us, they didn't have like video games and stuff. Video games keep the mind sharp. That's what people get prescribed sometimes when they're starting to lose their mind. They need that mind
stimulation.
Yeah, that mind to hand movement or whatever connection there. So I think our generation is going to be okay. Unless
Hand-eye coordination.
Hand-eye coordination. That's what it is. See, I'm already losing my fucking mind. See, God damn it. That's what happens when I don't play the video games in a while. So I'm already
And
losing
also
that.
it's so many advancements in like everything from medicine to like to health to working out. They just got everything. Like the average age, especially where we live in like the good old US of A. Like you got access to
Good
a
old
lot of
America.
stuff.
Yeah.
You can live like the average age is going up, and it's just.
I wonder what the status of like curing, Alzheimer's or dementia is at this point. Like I'm pretty sure they're pretty far in that, I think, right? With stem cells and all that shit. I don't know how that works. I'm terrible at science. I failed every goddamn science class ever. But
I mean, I think the key is catching it early, so you can mitigate a lot of the the symptoms and issues and you can prolong it. Look at, I mean, just for example, not mentally, I'm like HIV with Magic Johnson, for example.
Magic,
He's been. I mean, you could argue that like, oh, money bought that, but like they got it early. If you go in for routine checks, you can they'll catch stuff and then you'll be able to mitigate a lot of those issues. Like back in the day, it was like, oh fuck.
It was I just learned this recently. Your leg?
Yeah. All right, we're gonna have to cut it off. All right, your way of life. Your average life just went down 10 years right now. Okay,
that's like Civil War era. It's like, great, you broke your leg, it's gone. Like don't even bother to like put a splint. Nothing. It's over.
you stub your toe. You walk in and the priest is there. You're like, oh fuck. You got Make-A-Wish Foundation, John Cena hanging out with you. Oh god.
That is pretty crazy though. How AIDS nowadays is just virtually just like cured at this point, where before it wasn't even like maybe 30 years ago where it was 100% fatal. I was like, god damn, how far advanced?
Yeah, because it would just jump. It would just jump straight for. I mean, you wouldn't realize that you had the HIV, and then it would jump straight to the AIDS, and you're like, oh shit, that's straight downhill. Now you catch that because there's like, they know what they're looking for.
Yeah,
and then they can kind of like ease you out of it, And
that's pretty crazy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully that'll come around for Dimension.
By the way, we're not scientists. We don't know what the fuck we're talking about. If we're blowing shit out of our ass.
Listen, I copied every single assignment in chemistry. Okay, I learned absolutely nothing in chemistry, biology.
You did not understand the assignment.
I learned nothing in science. Like, what? The worst kind of Asian ever. I don't know nothing about no science. I don't know anything about math. I'm terrible on all that stuff.
Yeah, so. You would not be a good nurse. You would not.
Fuck no. Oh my god.
You would not be doing your race proud.
Fuck no, dude. I'd be terrible. God, I don't know how Jimmy did it because he was also copying stuff from me too. I'm like, what the fuck? How are you doing this? But
I think it helps that Jimmy knows his body more than we know.
That's true. He's pretty
else.
in tune with it, right?
Yeah, that guy's a fucking marvel.
But ladies and gentlemen, if you would like to hear more content like what you just heard, Myles, where can they find the back catalog of our podcast?
Ouch. Fuck, I got this. Oh, sorry. SortaInteresting.com. That's where you can find this podcast and all of our podcasts from the past. You can find, you can keep up with our Deadliest Warrior series. Last or 2 weeks ago, whatever, we did King Arthur.
King Arthur.
So you can find that video on there, episode 99. Yeah. You can find all 100 episodes really on Sorta Interesting. You go to youtube.com and you can youtube.com/Sorta Interesting. That's where you'll find you put a face to a name. And you got patreon.com. Everything is linked at Sorta Interesting. SoundCloud, the podcast app for iOS, Play Store, whatever the fuck. Yeah, that's where you can find us.
Yeah, and shout out to RDLX as always, commenting on all the videos, and shout out to Taron Huskus, the Huskus. Got some things in the works with Taron Huskus now, so that's pretty cool. We might have some new theme music going on with the old podcast here. Instead of using a different song for every podcast, we might have just one song, one special song that he's gonna create for us. So that's gonna be cool.
Yeah, it's gonna be good. Yeah. It's gonna be dope. Taron, and we've plugged him so many times,
very
but
talented,
it doesn't hurt to plug him again.
Yeah, all of his links are going to be in the bio below. I put his whole link tree there, so you just click on that. I need to create a link tree for us. What the fuck am I doing? Taron's got it together. He's got all of his iTunes on there, the SoundCloud, his Spotify, all that stuff on his link tree. So go check that out.
Go purchase and download his album Milky Waves. He's going to be coming out with a new one pretty soon. It's looking forward to it.
Let's get into some production details for 300. Release date March 9th, 2007. Writer-director Zack Snyder, of course, we all know him, and some of us love him, I don't know. Known for Dawn of the Dead, the remake, which is...
Very unique style of directing.
It is very unique, right? Dawn of the Dead, I highly recommend. I fucking love that movie. I
think Dawn of the Dead is his best work.
I think it's... Oh, man.
Maybe one of.
I still think Watchmen is still number one, but I think Dawn of the Dead might be right behind that.
Oh, that's... shit.
Yeah, Dawn of the Dead, Watchmen, Sucker Punch.
No, I'm sorry, Watchmen is... The Spirit.
I don't. That wasn't Zack Snyder, but I remember watching that.
wasn't? Oh,
No,
I thought that was.
it's like kind of this. It's a Frank Miller comic book. That's why it looks like the same. But
Oh, okay.
man, that is probably one of the. I never walked out of a movie theater before, but I was very close to walking out of the movie that day. It was just me and Matt watching that. I was like, what are we doing here? This is terrible. Dawn of the Dead, Watchmen, Sucker Punch, which. Goddamn, what a letdown that movie was. That was supposed to be a really good movie, and that was a huge letdown.
That
Man
was
of
supposed to be
Steel.
Harley Quinn before Harley Quinn. You know.
Yeah, I mean, God, it had all the actresses in there too. Jamie Chung, fucking Vanessa Hudgens, Jenna Malone in there. It's like, God,
And then it had my babe from what's the movie with Bradley Cooper where he takes the pill?
Limitless. Oh, and Abby, what's her name?
Abby Cornish.
Abby Cornish. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
That's
Man, what a missed opportunity. And Oscar Isaac was in that. What a fucking missed
my God,
opportunity.
it was.
That goddamn movie. Man of Steel, Batman v Superman, and Justice League, which, you know, it is what it is. A budget of a surprisingly low $65 million, which is nothing. Half of that budget was probably just the protein they had to feed all these gentlemen out there.
Oh my God. Nice.
At a box office of $456 million, putting it right at the edge at number 10 for the highest-grossing movie of the year 2007. The other top three movies of 2007 were Pirates of the Caribbean at World's End, which highly underrated. People talk about the first and second one a lot, but at World's End, really good. I appreciate that movie. We got to definitely do a Pirates of the Caribbean review.
Oh man, I'm all for it.
Just the first three, though. I don't want the other ones.
Age pretty well.
Yeah, yeah. Seriously, right? They're really good. Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix and Spider-Man 3. I'd say overall not a great year for franchise movies. Order of the Phoenix is probably one of my lowest ranked movies. Actually, Order of the Phoenix and Spider-Man 3. You go listen to our podcast right now on SortaStreet.com. We reviewed those already. It was a good year for me though. 2007. I will tell you. My first year I ever got a girlfriend in 7th grade, 2007. So shout out to me. Shout out to me that year. You know what I mean?
You. That was the year I met Christian Patam too. That was the year.
I think it was 2008. Might have been.
No,
because 2008 was sophomore year.
I thought, yeah, you're right.
2008,
right.
yeah. 2008.
2007, you were over in Downey.
I was still in Downey.
You had the Downs.
Shout out to me and shout out to Samantha for being my girlfriend.
Samantha,
who was actually a model now. So I fumbled that bag horribly. So great job, Christian, as always. And then a runtime of a brisk 1 hour and 57 minutes, which just flies by when watching this movie.
It does fly by. I didn't realize it was an hour 57.
I feel like that's that sweet spot, right? That's the G spot for movies right there. That 1 hour 57 right below that 2 hour mark. I love that. That's like my favorite length right there.
I guess it depends on the type of movie. A movie like this, yes, where it flows,
or it's just all dessert, where it's just fucking just in your face all day. Yeah.
Great. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead. No. I was about to get into the initial impressions, but yeah, go ahead.
Oh, well, yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
I'll tag on to that.
Oh, let's get into initial impressions, Myles. What did you think of 300?
Initially, I didn't see this movie in theaters.
You didn't? Okay.
No. I don't remember when I first saw this movie, but I've seen it so many times that they kind of just like meshed together.
Yeah, I can barely remember too. Yeah.
Yeah, it just between the slow mo, the voiceovers, the narration.
What a fucking voice, dude!
What a voice!
That whole speech that he does at the end, I'm like, how do I barely really ever make it to the end whenever I watch this movie, but I'm like, oh shit, his speech at the end is fucking dope, and it's like a 10-minute speech. I'm like, Jesus Christ, and his voice is so silky, the deadliest warrior. Silky. It's so good, dude.
That's why he was the narrator on that show.
The show came out after. Yeah, I was like, oh my god, that's why his fucking voice, because it's amazing. Yeah.
By the way, we're talking about David Wenham.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about him.
Faramir. I got
Faramir. Yep.
Oh, I'm good. Never mind. It was a silent one. Damn it.
I was hoping to get that one on air. So, first time I watched this movie, I just fell in love with it. The action in this movie, like I said, the slow mos, the use of narration, the costumes, the men, makeup, the men, and I appreciate it more. Obviously now, just like most movies, I appreciate it more now because of just overall the work that these actors had to put in. Because you think about, like, take Man of Steel for example.
Yeah.
When you have Henry Cavill, he's working out hard that one day that his shirt's off for his
Dude,
for
that
that shirtless scene, right? He's working hard. He's starving himself. These Spartans,
that sucks, man.
Are so
no shirts
ripped.
in sight.
No shirts in sight. These guys are looking jacked, and not jacked. They're looking like
statues. They look like Greek statues.
Fit as a fiddle. You can't even.
Every time Gerard Butler's like standing there with his fucking just like his hands on his hips and his fucking cloak is behind him, I'm like, God damn, dude, he's fucking so shredded.
There's no hiding anything. Like you see like
everything's exposed. All the legs. Yeah. All the torso.
Like, exactly.
Yeah.
I was gonna bring up like Thor. You think like he's all upper body, and then you see some pictures of him in the gym, and there's no lower body.
Unacceptable to me. Unacceptable.
Yeah.
You have every goddamn resource on the planet. Like, that's your job to work out, and that's how you treat your legs. Unacceptable to me.
All chest, no legs.
Yeah.
But
vanity muscles for that.
Exactly the discipline that took, and then the way, I don't know, this movie, because it has like that very dark element, like with the background where it's always like overcast. It's like Pacific Northwest out there, but like, yeah,
that's how they actually edited. They crushed all the blacks in the editing to give it that dark look.
Really?
Yeah,
okay,
so
cool.
they like put the bar all the way to the end for blacks.
And it looks so good. Everything is so like,
it's a painting. Every goddamn frame in this is a fucking painting. I'm like, this is fucking amazing.
So when they're walking away, they're ready to set out on their just their special operations mission.
The guy's playing the flute.
Yep.
But he is so jacked. The
Yeah,
guy
he
playing the
is.
flute. I'm like, oh, he's just fucking holding on to it, flexing while playing the flute. And
Man,
you can hear it in his breath.
he's doing that core
Doing like
exercises.
little short breaths into the flute.
He actually has to work the hardest while they're marching. Yeah, I through and through, this movie to this day holds up. It's such a great movie. Like, so many great speeches, so many great like action scenes, fight scenes.
So many quotable lines in this. Yeah, it's unbelievable how many goddamn lines that we've been quoting for like fucking 10 plus years now at this point. Yeah.
And I mean, that's all I got. I mean, we'll get more into it as we progress. But
I do remember watching this actually opening weekend. After seeing, do you remember seeing the trailers for this? I remember seeing the trailers for this during like Comic-Con and all that shit. And I'm like, holy fuck, what is this? I have never seen anything like this. Immediately enamored by the cinematography style of this movie, unlike anything we've ever seen before. But yeah, I loved it when I watched it, and I can say confidently that this is probably one of the greatest action movies of all time. Just one of the greatest I've ever seen. But a little story detail here. I love how they take all those kind of like tall tales and myths from history and completely go off the rails with them, like in a good way. Like how all ripped the Spartans are. Like, obviously they didn't have that kind of nutrition back then, but they were the warriors, right? So they kind of were bigger than life than your average person.
all hand-to-hand combat at this time too.
Yeah.
So there's a little bit of truth to the tale, if you believe any of it. You gotta believe that they were fitter back in the day than we are today. Come on.
Yeah, no processed sugars and all that shit back in the day, right? So, but I just
paleo.
They, for real, right? They probably have the most best diet, but
most best diet.
I love how Zach just puts everything super over the top in this movie. Like, not just the bodies, the CGI, the monsters, everything is super over the top. I like how tall and menacing Xerxes is with his super deep voice, like taking that to the next level. He probably, obviously it wasn't that big, right? But it's like, it's so comic booky.
Xerxes is that Hispanic dude from
Westworld. Yeah, that guy was fucking dope as fuck. I love that guy.
Good, dude. Like,
he's so good looking. God damn, that guy.
God, he is.
It brought me back to my days in Downey, seeing Xerxes with his fucking drawn on eyebrows. I'm like, the old chola eyebrows that I haven't seen in fucking years. I was like, this is bringing me back to Downey. County. Here we go. But yeah, the Immortals looking super scary as fuck. The depiction of magic in this movie, which we were talking about this last time on the King Arthur podcast. I wish they would have done the magic like they did in this movie. It was perfect the way they depicted the magic, because obviously it's science that the Spartans just didn't know, so they're like, it's magic. We don't know what this is. It's just magic, but it's just, it's just science.
I think it adds more to their badassery, because even though they realize that, like, and that one particular scene that I'm thinking of, where they're dropping bombs. So they still don't care. It's like it's still another just enemy.
Yeah, they still take him out either way. It's like, okay, you want to use your bombs against us? Oh, how about a sword to the fucking face?
You want to use sorcery? Go ahead. And the way I think they did really good with some of these like prosthetics too, like the butcher. That
was
butcher
it
character with the
big guy?
Yeah. And like dude, I remember looking at that.
That guy,
I was, like, disgusted. That's like something you'd see from like Dante.
There were so many points in this movie where I still feel uncomfortable looking at it. I'm like, oh, that's fucking gross, dude. Like, I hate looking at some of these scenes, some of the prosthetic and makeup. I'm like, oh, I feel super uncomfortable. It's disgusting.
I hate looking at the Hunchback in Notre Dame in this.
He looks like a sponge that you put in the microwave for too long. It's just deformed all over the place. But yeah, this movie definitely put Zack Snyder on the map. I think Dawn of the Dead was before this, so maybe this put him into the mainstream map.
I think Dawn of the Dead was like 2004.
It was like 2004, right? Yeah, 2004. Because I'm a fucking weirdo. I used to watch that movie before school, like, every day.
Yeah, you watched it for that.
Yes, scene. You know what I'm talking about. You know.
You watched it for.
Where she said harder, and it's the guy from Modern Family. I'm like, what are you doing, Ty Burrell? Come on. But yeah, immediately put him over in the film world, but unfortunately, I think he's a one-trick pony on Zack Snyder. He does an excellent job of taking comic book stories and putting them like on the big screen one for one, and making the comic book come to life with this movie and Watchmen. But when it comes to original storytelling, he's just fucking garbage, dude. He might be one of the worst in the business for original storytelling. True. Yeah.
Hey, that's fine. That's fine, because he's made some good movies, he's made some good looking movies.
Yeah,
movies that have that.
Even the bad ones have good visuals, so that's why I'm like, okay, I think that's why people still keep him around. It's not like he's not getting any jobs, because people still enjoy going to the movie theater to watch his movies, right? So it's still bringing in the cash. So yeah, his visual storytelling is just so good. But let's go ahead and get into the rundown for The Habit.
Let's do it. The movie opens up. We're narrated. The movie is narrated by David Wenham, aka Faramir from Lord of the Rings, with just the silkiest, smoothest, most beautifulest voice you ever did hear. And he really does take the movie to that next level. Where,
the inspiration for this series, yeah.
It's beautiful. You love, like, I love it. I love his voice.
He needs to do like audiobooks, like historical audiobooks in his voice. I'd be all over it. Like the Homer and the Odyssey. Like if he did those books, I'm all over it. I would love that.
Oh, I would. Yeah, it would be amazing. We get a shot of a priest inspecting a baby for deformities, and this is something that they pulled from, like, they used to do this back in the day. Like, if it was
it's a haunting shot too. That scene where you see all like the little skulls on the ground. I'm like, oh god, that's dark, man.
If there was any little deformity, because this is supposed to be a Spartan, they're supposed to be the best of the best of from Greece. They if any deformity is found, they had extra chromie. They're tossing it,
They were like, yeah, if they're too small. I'm like, well, what's the line here? Like, what's too small? You guys didn't have scales back then. Like, are you just weighing them with your hands?
Going off straight visuals. Yeah, you're going off straight visuals.
Like, what's the threshold here? Yeah.
Then we go into a little montage of training, a Spartan kids training, and we focus in on Leonidas, the protagonist of our story. played by Gerard Butler.
Dude, his dad is way more jacked than like any other Spartan we see in this movie. He's like Mr. Olympia jacked. I'm like, goddamn, get that guy on the field. Yeah,
I'm pretty sure the kid who plays young Leonidas is Zack Snyder's son. Yeah.
Which old as fuck now, by the way. He's like our age. I'm like, oh shit. I looked him up recently. I think this guy's got a fucking beard and he's going to college and shit. Like, Jesus, this kid's old already.
07, we're 14. You know, the kid's that kid was probably 10, 11.
Yeah, I know.
You know, so he's not too far behind us. So when Spartan children get old enough, they kind of they get sent off to fend for themselves, and this is where part of that montage takes place, where we have Leonidas out in the elements, fending for himself, proving himself,
just in his little underwear in the snow. I'm like,
his little chonies. And I love these shots where David Wenham is narrating, and it's just like silent. You just hear the cool wind. You see the snow. He said the cold touching his feet or something like that, and he's barefoot. And
I like that part where they're circling each other, like the wolf and the kid. He's just like circling each other, like
slowly,
and the glowing eyes of the wolf. It's like, god damn, man, visually,
and even
so cool.
the sound too, of the wolf with the howl, where it's like echoing, but it's like it's a layered voice. You know, it's like the Ty Dolla $ign of wolves. Ooh, and then you get the glowing eyes and. He said at like he takes the perfect shot or something, or like the perfect strike, and he just stabs the wolf in the.
I like the shadow too behind. Really cool. Yeah, really cool.
Then the kid Leonidas returns and he's crowned king.
Fucking just beautiful shot. This is like one of my favorite shots, the crowning of the king. It looks like a painting right now. The snow falling all around them, and he comes in with the fucking wolf fur around his shoulders. I'm like, that is fucking badass. Everyone's like bowing down to him. One of the guys puts that helmet right in front of him, and that other guy just offering the sword up to him. I'm like, fuck the guys on the other.
It's all slow-mo, but it's like it flows so well.
It's so good. And that VO
because
too.
You want to keep it on. You want to keep it on that shot, and the voiceover. It's not like silent, like
he's yelling.
It's not so it's filled, but like you're like, oh, just keep this shot. You know,
it's
like
a still shot, but you hear the
shots.
Leonidas, a king. I'm like, oh fuck yeah, dude, let's fucking go. What a way to start this movie.
We cut to current day with Delios, who is David Wenham. Delios, what a great name. He's leading a group of Spartans, and he's narrating this story, but he's telling this story to us. So current day Delios.
It's pretty all over the place.
Yeah, it's kind of all over the place a little bit. So all of this movie, 95% of this movie is
a flashback.
A flashback, and that's Delios narrating this story to the other Spartans.
I love how we finally get a look at all these Spartans too. They look so fucking cool, especially Delios in this beginning scene where he has the eye patch thing, but he has the cloak, but he has another cloak like in front of him. I'm like, what the? You have like a special like alternate costume right now. This is awesome.
This is so good. Like it looks so good, and it's still showing off his.
You can still see his big ass peck like right there. I'm like, god damn, dude.
He just gives this roaring speech of like invaders coming to destroy Greece, and coupled with the story of Leonidas, just basically to fucking rouse the troops, you know. And I'm ready to go. I'm ready. I'm grabbing my spear.
It all started with Leonidas. I'm like, oh shit, let's fucking go, dude.
And then we cut back to a flashback of a Persian messengers riding into Greece.
Extremely cool slow motion here. The way they use it, it's such a small little scene, but they make it look like a painting. Just going over the hill, they're like going down the hill. You can see the city, like it looks way bigger than it should be, but they're going down the hill in super slow mo. And the guy, you can see their faces, and it's the most like aggressive horse riding I've ever seen in my life. I'm like, Jesus,
and that picturesque. That shot where he's pulling back, the horse is riding up, and he's got the skulls.
What a power move! The skulls of with the crown still on them. Yeah.
Conquered kings.
It's such a power move, dude.
It's beautiful. It like I said, it just looks. This movie is a painting. Like you could still shot every scene, every frame, and it would just you could frame it up. I like this. The HNIC.
The literal HNIC.
Literal HNIC with all these nose rings.
Yeah,
like, he's very progressive.
All the Persians, they love the piercings. That's how do those not get infected out there? Come on, you're out in the field with no showers. Come on, pal.
By the way, it's a Persian messenger that's here to relay a message. We get introduced to adult Leonidas, played by Gerard Butler.
Gerard, yeah,
and his wife. Gorgo?
I don't. What a shit name for Lena Headey's character, because I never heard her name once in this movie, and I had to look it up because I never heard her name. But yeah, it is Gorgo or whatever. Like,
Lena Headey from Game of Thrones.
Love her. God, she's hot in this movie too. Like,
yeah,
I was never really attracted to her before, but I'm like, in this movie.
Oh, same here.
She's hot. She's hot in this movie.
Yeah. The more we age, the more it's like
she's hot in this movie, and she's hot in Dread. I was like,
oh my god,
I'm kind of interested in Dread. Yeah.
Oh my god.
What a movie.
Yeah, she can play. She got the short hair and long hair thing going on. I like it. Gerard Butler, might I say, is a specimen.
Yeah, with the goatee too, where it's like, oh no, it's the full beard, but it's like shaped where it's like kind of like longer right here. I'm like, I'm like, who's your barber over there in Sparta? Who's lining you up over there?
Is that very like you would think a Greek would look with the braid looking going across his head
thing,
with the hair like coming over? There's no hairline coming down, but you can see like the hair.
He has the Caesar kind of haircut.
Yeah, it's what you think of when you think of a Greek.
My only gripe with him is his Scottish accent just comes through so hard in like so many scenes that he's yelling. Like, it baffles me. Like, his accent just comes out like that. Because me and my cousin used to make fun of that all the time. Yeah.
That's him in all movies. He does not have great.
That's true. I don't think I've ever heard him try to speak in an American accent. It would probably sound terrible.
Control. You know, Olympus Has Fallen. It's not really.
Oh yeah, he has an American accent in that. I'm guessing, right? Can you be Scottish and work in the White House? I don't know.
It's a conflict of interest.
Get out of here. Only Americans.
Only Americans. So Native Americans only in the White House, please.
Say dollar for me. Dollar.
So we get Leonidas finally meeting with the Persian messenger, holding up the fucking skulls and whatever. Then we're introduced to Theron, played by McNulty.
Fucking McNulty, that Irish son of a bitch.
But, McNulty from
The Wire.
From The Wire, then you're somebody I want to hang out with, because I love The Wire. Wire is top 3 show.
I forgot he was in this movie. I'm like, fuck yeah, dude. I totally
Dominic
forgot.
West, a good actor.
I will
say he's a great actor.
We need to see more of Dominic West, man. I love him.
And he looks so good in this.
Yeah, his hair's like all like flowy and shit, and he's jacked too. I'm like, you don't even fight in this? How are you so jacked in this?
There's no like character too that has that. He has a very like punchable face.
Oh yeah, he like when he smiles, right it's away. Like you fucking you're puts
his eyebrows into it, his eyes into it.
He totally does.
He looks menacing.
And the way he talks, it's so like, you're such a fucking cocksucker.
Condescending, belittling, like horror. Fuck you, bitch.
I love that.
When
he chokes fucking Lena Headey, I'm like, God, do that to me. Wait a minute. Harder.
Yeah, he's just like, I don't like it. The Persian brings one message: earth and water. And everybody's like, fuck.
Fucking earth and water?
Like, I got that shit right here, right? In layman's terms, he wants Sparta. He wants to submit to King Xerxes.
One of my favorite lines here. He says, "The Athenians have already turned you down, and if those philosophers and boy lovers have that kind of nerve." I'm like, oh fuck. Boy lovers.
He's calm and cool, collected, just like a king should be.
Totally, yeah.
This is Zelensky right now.
He says, "Come, let us cool our tongues," which I love that phrase. Let's cool our tongues.
And there was a part where you could see Lena Headey's character. She's like,
she's aggressive, dude.
Are you fucking kidding me right now? And then
she's like a pit bull on a leash. It's like, all right, come on, there, pull it back a little. Let's calm it down.
And the HNIC is like, you dare speak to me?
He's like, well, yeah, what is a woman doing here talking to me like this? How dare you?
And Leonidas ain't having none of that shit. He's like, he said, everybody's equal here. All right.
Yeah, I like that.
Because only, I love this line. He said, only Spartan women produce
there we go.
real men.
Yeah.
Oh man, I was like, fuck, dude. If only people in history could realize that, we wouldn't have this women's suffrage.
It kind of makes me sad though about the Greeks. Cause what are they now? You know what I mean? Like all that work, and now they're just a vacation spot. You know what I'm saying? They don't have any power in this world anymore. They were so powerful for so long. Now it's just like, hey, want to go to the beach in Greece? Okay.
Yeah, their most famous guy, Giannis, isn't even Greek. He's Greek by trade. You know?
A great rom-com, My Big Fat Greek Wedding. What else you got? Got some good food.
Yes, food.
I guess that's it. I don't know if anything else Greek. Yeah.
So Leonidas is calm, cool, collected, but he says submission is that's
submission. Yeah.
You come here.
That's a problem. That's what he said.
You insult my queen. You bring death. You to our doorstep. You insult everybody here. What? Why the fuck should I let you live? And he just does probably one of the most quoted lines of.
Do you remember that era? How much that was being said at that time? That was so
many songs. It was drops in songs.
Dude, yeah, dude. It was fucking everywhere. That "This Is Sparta" line was everywhere. Mm-hmm. That was like beginning of YouTube Sparta. Too. Yeah, that was like that
was the birth of the Spartan Kick. You think of Spartan Kick, what was that like in Taekwondo? That's just like a front heel kick or something like that. Yeah. And it's now a Spartan Kick from here on out. He kicks the Spartan he kicks the Persian right in his chest into this well that it's just a giant. How many kids have fallen in that? How many kids have died?
I don't understand what that hole is for. I never really understood it, but that again, his Scottish accent. Me and my cousin used to make fun of him all the time. That earth and water, you find plenty down there.
Yep.
I'm like, Jesus.
And then you see all the Spartans just slashing away.
Awesome.
And that one Persian falling, and it just gets darker and darker and darker. He fades away into nothing. That was like really chilling. Like you're like, oh shit, that shit goes nowhere. Why are you?
Is that the trash can? Do they just take shits in there? I don't know.
That's where they throw the babies that don't make it.
Can you imagine like being just hammered at night when you're trying to like piss in there? You're like, oh fuck, I'm gonna fucking just fall in there. That's what you get. Just like, can you hold on my shoulder while I pee, please? So I don't fall in.
You need to tie a rope around your waist and have like two guys holding you back.
You need a spotter when you pee out there in that hole.
We cut to Leonidas going to visit the high priests, who are...
Dude, the priests...
Sweet Alabama's...
They make me so goddamn uncomfortable.
Dude, they make me itchy.
I hate watching this scene, especially when that nasty one licks poor woman's face. Yeah. I'm like, for no reason. Just to get his fucking jollies off. Just fucking disgusting, dude. I hate that scene. Their teeth are all messed up. I'm like, oh, God.
So Leonidas goes to meet with these priests,
and he rock climbs. It's like the most epic rock climbing ever. I'm like, again, just the little things that Zack Snyder does. It's so cool the way he rock climbs.
There's probably a path up there, but he chose to rock climb.
No gloves, in fucking sandals, no rope.
God damn, you gotta love it. It just looks so much more badass when he does it.
Yeah.
And so basically, he goes to these priests because they are the people. I mean, this is back in the day. These are the people that would dictate your future,
control everything. Like, those sons of bitches
control everything. These are the people you prayed to, and they were basically politicians. If you want to look
scumbags, a lot of them.
Yeah, you had to pay them to, and the higher the price, the person who pays them the most, they tell you what you want to hear.
Right, and then Leonidas throwing that bag of gold at them was a cool shot, but I'd be so pissed if I was that priest. I'd be like, great, who the fuck is gonna clean this shit up now? You just fucking scattered all of them on the floor. Who the fuck do that?
No, the fuck do that?
Who the fuck do that? That would have been me if I was one of the priests. The meeting's over and you're just walking through like, who the fuck do that? God damn it.
Come on, man. What are they gonna use that shit for? What are they gonna buy? You know, what are they obviously they're not buying any fucking like anti-acne cream or
I never really understood that either. Like, what are they using this gold for? I don't know.
So they basically use this.
I think they use it to buy more of the oracle ladies, more young women.
Yeah, they the oracles, by the way, are the prettiest Greek women that they find, obviously because they're fucking creeps, and they basically drug them to the point where they start seeing things, they start seeing visions.
Just another example of Zach taking these myths and legends and just running with them. The Oracle is probably, like you said, just a super hot chick back in the day, just all drugged up. Like the way they portray the Oracle is like one of the coolest things I've ever seen. She looks like she's
underwater.
Yeah, she's like moving underwater.
Underwater
and the lighting and the framing, it looks like a fucking painting every time, dude. It looks so cool. It's one of
that girl was like, I was like, dude, she's just like, she looks like a guy, you know? She's so I'm like, no,
she's hot, yeah. I don't know.
Little, you know, so see through.
Nibs, yeah, for sure.
They basically, the priests, even though Sparta has a plan, Leonidas tells them of their plan to defend Sparta from
the hot gates. I like what he's drawing in the sand, dude. It's so cool.
The priest basically like, nah, fuck that. Sparta's gonna fall. You're fucked. Your reign is done.
Yeah, there's like the Carthage or whatever. There's like a little festival going on. They're like, nah, man, we don't do any wars during this festival thing that we're doing.
Yes, he said Sparta will fall, and basically he leaves with no information. You know?
But that last part where with the priest, where he was at, honor the Carthage. I'm like, oh, it's fucking disgusting. I hate it. I hate your mouth. I hate your face. I hate your phlegmy voice. I hate everything about you. It's disgusting.
Everything about people, dude. We come to find out that McNulty,
that Irish son of a bitch,
visited the priest before and has paid them in more gold with Xerxes' face on it. So he's a double agent. He's working for the Persians.
He's a double agent.
Straight up. He's working for the Persians.
And this old Ricky Rose headed ass over there too. He said, we will bring fresh oracles every day. I'm like, damn, every day? Jesus, you're gonna run out in like a month.
God, these whores.
Yeah.
Yeah, he basically bribed the priest with gold to stop Leonidas from going to war, and
that last shot is super cool, where it like goes dark, but you can just see his eyes and like his smile. I'm like, oh yeah, I love that.
Oh yeah, that's sick. Right. Dude, some of these shots. We cut to a shot.
Cheeked up.
Double cheeked up on a Tuesday. Leonidas standing just in like a room where look at that.
I love it.
Dude. Like with the lighting, where it looks like black and white.
That's so cool.
Just leaned up against the pillar.
God,
like,
if I was in that shape, I'd be like that all the time. Are you kidding?
Yeah, I'd be naked all the time. I'd be pissing off that balcony, you know. And
I'd be like stretching like Dwight, where he does that and he puts like his waist out, like that would be me. That'd be me.
We see a sweet love scene.
Oh goodness gracious! Might be the first boobies we've seen on this podcast. But god damn it, man, this scene still makes me feel very uncomfortable. And it's not because of Lena Headey. I saw this movie in the theater, like I said, but I saw this movie with my mom, with my aunt, and with my cousins. So it was extremely awkward. Like, god damn it. Like, it feels like an hour in that situation that this scene is going on. I'm like, come on, hurry up. Come, Leonidas, hurry up.
You're like, fuck, I last long.
Finish it up, Leonidas. God damn it.
You're
Yeah,
getting all hot and you feel like you're getting sweaty, and then you're like,
yeah. To this day, I'm like, it gives me
looking at
anxiety.
you.
It gives me anxiety watching the scene. I'm like, oh, I want to like it, but I can't because it brings me back to that day. I'm like, oh, it's so weird. I can't do this.
Nowadays, you're like more.
All the way. Let me see the penetration. You know,
I want to see some NC-17 action.
it's a long sex scene though. Hot sex scene too.
Yeah,
Where she's like
'cause
grabbing his back. I'm like, oh, okay, here we go.
Yeah, this is where some slow motion is kind of like.
Totally, yeah. Slow motion booby bouncing. I'm like, oh, this is new. Yeah.
The next morning, we were with Leonidas and 300 of the Spartans that he requested to gather as volunteers,
Right.
including Faramir and Magneto himself.
Dude, Michael Fassbender. Big screen debut for Michael Fassbender, which is crazy because he was like, he has a pretty big role in this movie for his being his first movie. Like he probably has one of the most iconic lines in movie history, which we'll see later. Yeah.
Leonidas, he says one last goodbye to his wife and son, and they just walk away. But
And the guy playing the flute.
like little ass grab, and like, all right, fist bump to your son, you know. Like,
Also, McNulty like approaches them. He's like, "What are you guys doing?" And then Leonidas is like, "I'm just gonna go for a walk. We'll see what happens."
It's a little, just a little.
We're just gonna go. Yeah, we're just gonna march to the north, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I like how she says, "Come back with your shield, or on it."
Or on it, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, "Fuck, that's when it sets in." You're like,
and he's like, "I'll come back on you." And I was like,
"Oh shit,
promise."
This is probably the last time that they're seeing each other. You know.
I like the VO too, where he's like, "No words are needed to be said between the two." I'm like, "Oh yeah, I love that."
And then we get the flute.
Yeah, that guy's so jacked. Yeah.
Marching band player.
Where do you keep that flute when you're in battle? By the way, there's no you don't have a bag. You're just rocking chonies. You don't got nothing.
He pulls out from the bottom. It's blades, dual blades, and he's fucking
put it on the back or something. Like, where you...
just spins it around like a guitar, you know. And then he pulls out his fucking blade. The Spartans run into Daxos and the Arcadians. Whenever I hear of Arcadians, I just think of Stadium Arcadium. I think of Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Oh, okay. I thought you were gonna think because little trivia factor: The Rock's character in the Scorpion King was also an Arcadian.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I always think of the Scorpion King. I'm like, well, these guys don't really look the same, but whatever. Arcadian.
Not even a little bit. He does look like a member from a System of a Down or something.
That guy's pretty jacked too. That
Daxos
guy. Yeah.
And we get this great little interaction.
Amazing.
Between,
it's so good.
The Arcadians and the Spartans, where Leonidas is, or Daxos is like, "You only brought this handful of soldiers with you," and Leonidas is pointing at the different. He's like, "What are you?"
You, Arcadian. What is your profession?
I'm a sculptor. Yeah. And you? He said, "I'm a potter."
I'm a potter. Blacksmith.
Yeah. He said, and then, dude, it's chilling too.
Spartans, what is your profession? It's so loud, dude, when he's yelling. I had to turn it down. I was like, oh Jesus, it's so loud.
And then in unison, you're
It's so good, dude. God. You see, old friend, I brought more soldiers than you did. Like, fuck yeah.
He said, "You're more than welcome to tag along." And I love it, you know. The Spartans, they spot a deformed creature that's been following them, and this is the Hunchback of Notre Dame that I've been talking about. And I
hate him too.
I despise this guy. Honestly, I get it. I get why he's here, and he really plays I don't know. I just hate looking at this guy. I don't like this. I don't care for this scene. I don't care for this guy. You know,
looks like a piece of moldy cheese. He looks disgusting.
It does show sympathy from Leonidas, where he sympathizes with him because he knows that.
Every time I see that scene, I'm like, oh, maybe he's gonna do it this time. Maybe he'll let him on the team.
Maybe he'll let him. I mean, he does kind of. He does some be like Bat Boy, you know,
bring bitch duty though. Yeah,
clear the dead, bring us food. You know, we can't have you because it makes sense. You know, you can't lift your shield. You can't fucking cover that goddamn.
Together as
you're
one.
You're a liability at this point. You know, you're an issue.
Chain. You're a kink in the chain. Whatever
Chink
the
in
fuck.
the armor.
There we go.
You know, you're Jeremy Lin. I remember when they had that headline when he was on the Rockets. It said a chink in the armor, and it was Jeremy Lin, and they had to pull that so quick.
Oh Jesus!
So this scene where they come across a town that the Persians have already sacked. The chilling part when they
so
find
fucking haunting, dude.
When he's like, I found the civilians or whatever.
Well, even like the kid who like comes up to them and he starts whispering to Leonidas and he's like, they came and they took us all with the monsters and the claws. I'm like, it makes me so uneasy when he's whispering to him. Like, oh, it's so scary. I hate that scene too.
Like what? They what? They came.
They came on all of our faces and took us away. That's what he said. Yeah, I'm just verbatim. That's what he said.
Yeah, verbatim. We find the villagers. All of them, they're stapled to a fucking tree. They're crucified to this tree.
I think, yeah, Michael Fassbender was like, the gods have no mercy or whatever. I'm like, oh.
Dude, that was probably one of the most chilling things I've seen.
They hold that shot for a long time too, yeah. But Leonidas with that Immortals, we'll put that name to the test. I'm like, fuck yeah, dude. That is such a dope ass fucking line. I love that line. Let's fucking go.
Spartans finally make it to the hot gates, where they see the Persians approaching on boats from afar, and this scene where they're just they see all these boats just sinking from a lightning storm.
That fucking shot is crazy. Motion,
they're all standing there on the cliff, and they're just like, and the wind is blowing with the rain coming sideways on their face. Like, it's just...
And Gerard Butler constantly has a bad mood face in this whole movie, and it's perfect. Like, this scene specifically in the rain where he's holding the shield up to block the rain in his coolest, like, stoic face, and the visuals are so fucking cool. The waves are massive. They're, like, up to the fucking mountain that they're on. And then, yeah, the rain going sideways, and there's fucking rock music, like, dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun in the background, and everybody's like, yeah! Fucking yeah!
And you get the shots of like the boats being, and then the dead bodies in the water.
Dude.
Like, oh shit, this war's over before it starts. You know, you think like, no, they already got their victory. They already got their first victory.
I just love how everyone's like, yeah!
And he knows, like, Leonidas knows this is but a fraction of their fucking army.
He looks so cool. He's just like, just standing there.
Back in Sparta, Lena Headey, the queen meets with the councilman to discuss McNulty's
That's the guy from Watchmen. Also, he's the old owl guy, the guy who fucking shit. What's his name? Owl Man, Night Owl. I think his name is Night Owl. He's the old guy that Patrick Wilson's character visits at night when they have the beers and shit.
Is it?
Yeah, he was the original. He was the original Night Owl, and then Patrick Wilson's like the new Night Owl.
You talking about the guy with the white hair?
Yeah, is it the white hair?
I'm thinking we're probably thinking of the different guy, because I'm thinking the guy with the white hair. He was in Gladiator. He was one of the senators or whatever in Gladiator, also, I believe. Guy with the white hair that was on the council.
I'm thinking about the guy who he's like, maybe you should come outside so it doesn't look like we're fucking when we go inside your house.
That's right. That guy. That guy. Goatee with the,
yeah. He's shredded too. I'm like, what the hell?
He looks so good. Holy shit.
Like, how are you shredded?
That's him from Watchmen?
Yeah.
Oh my god. Wow. That's crazy. Okay.
Yeah.
The more you know. It makes sense. Zack Snyder.
Yeah.
So she goes to the councilman to discuss his betrayal, because this is a democracy, you know. You gotta rally. You gotta come with some evidence. You gotta have everybody come to a consensus, you know.
Yeah.
And then we're back with Michael Fassbender and the Arcadian scout ahead, who finds a massive Persian army on the beach.
Dude, that Arcadian freaking the fuck out, because Michael Fassbender's like,
he's riding the horse.
Why are you smiling,
bro?
Oh,
that bareback horse riding where he just jumps off all like, dude, he looks so badass. I don't know.
Why do you smile? And fucking Michael Fassbender is so good in this. What we Spartans call a beautiful death. I'm like, fuck yeah, dude, it's so good.
They love that. They want to die in combat. That's the most. He even says it. You know, who says it? He was like, that's the most honorable death is to die in
Fassbender says
battle
that. Yeah.
for Sparta, right?
Yeah. He's like, maybe one of these guys will be doing that job for me today. I'm like, fuck yeah, dude. He's laughing. He's having a great time about it. And then the guy just looking at him was like, you're fucking crazy, dude. What is wrong with you?
This
It makes
next
me laugh
scene,
every time.
we get a little small Persian contingency, a little scout army coming up and meeting with the Spartans. They don't know that they're Spartans at this point because they're not wearing their uniforms. They're just in their little onesies or little,
They're just out for like a little jaunt around the
they're
the old
stacking
beach.
rocks to make a wall, and we get that line where he's like, your Persians have laid or are used as
as mortar.
for our wall. And then
dude, that shot of the whip where he fucking does it back, and you could see like the camera where it like flips towards the camera. I'm like, oh, dude, that is so cool. That slow motion shot.
And then we have Michael Fassbender jumping out and cutting the guy's arm off in a great slow mo, and he's just my arm.
That guy's facial hair still like bothers me to this day because he has like super long like locks coming out, but just like from right here. I'm like, what are you doing? What is this facial hair you got here?
This shit's so over the top too, because this is just like a little small arm, and the guy's walking out and he's being held up by these fucking. It's just like it just goes to show like how big the Persian ego is.
Right. Yeah.
You know,
those poor guys, man. What a job. That sucks.
Dude, my back is hurting watching these guys. And then we get that where we cut to the scene where you see is this the scene where they shoot the arrows and you see it turns black?
Not yet. It's he's like pointing his sword at the guy, and the guy's like, "Our arrows will blot out the sun."
Oh, there it is.
And then he says, "Then we will fight in the shade." And I'm like, "Fuck yeah!" That is one of the greatest lines ever in movie history. One of the most baddest lines ever. It's so good.
We're introduced to Ephialtes.
I don't even know how to say his fucking name anymore. Yeah.
Hunchback in Notre Dame. The deformed man that's been following them the entire journey to the Hot Gates. His parents saved him from being discarded, which they probably shouldn't have. His father trained him. He has a good thrust with his sword, and Leonidas sees that. He sees that his heart's in it.
The look on Leonidas' face, he's like smiling. He's like, "Oh yeah, you got the spirit of a Spartan." And then he's like, "Lift your shield up." I'm like, "Oh no." Every time I'm like, "Don't do this. Don't let him. Don't make him do this."
Maybe one time he'll be like, "All right, hold the back." Yeah, you know. And it makes sense too. You know, Leonidas has sympathy for people, but you cannot have. Look at these guys.
He let him be the water boy at least. You know.
Yeah. You know, you can't be that deformity in there. You can't be that open sore.
His face is like fully exposed too. He can't even get the helmet like on his head. It's just sitting on top. Like if I were to wear like a cowboy hat or something, it'd be just fucking like right here. Head's too big.
The beast gets angry and he throws his shield. He said, "No, you are wrong, Leonidas.
You're wrong, motherfucker. You're wrong." It's like, Jesus, man, take it easy.
And then he just throws his shield away. And then he leaves.
Good, fuck him.
But we haven't seen the last of this fucking bitch. Back at the Hot Gates, the Persians attack with a massive army this time. Largo. But it's a small area, so it looks large. But they're
bottlenecking them, yeah.
Yeah, they're bottlenecking them into these Hot Gates where it's so that way they can take them out. They're being smart with it.
It's like in Halo where you like kind of run back to the other room and you're like, okay, just let them come through that door. We'll just shoot them as they're coming in.
Yep. Leonidas gives his epic battle speech as he always does.
A little trivia here. When the Persians demand that the Spartans surrender their weapons, he replies, "Come and get them." According to ancient historian Herodotus, Leonidas actually said that it was also adopted as the motto of the Greek army's first corps. So that's nice. That's actually on their uniforms and shit. That's fucking dope. Yeah.
Oof. Man, that's chilling, dude. That's badass. Yeah. And he's one another great line. He said, give them nothing, but take from them everything.
His yelling voice is one of the greatest ever.
Because he's all teeth.
Yeah.
This is teeth,
And he's so loud. He blows out his voice probably every day on that fucking set.
Mm-hmm. The Spartans form a wall, and we finally get Persian and Spartan interaction where they meet head on, right? And they're just holding them back, and then it stops all of a sudden, like it goes quiet. Spartans, push!
And
then they push back, and then they're fucking
I like how they do that
in sync,
and then just over and over again.
And they just
so
keep doing that back and forth, and then you see that one shot where the guy reaches over and slices one of the Spartans, and he gets pissed off, and he just fucking...
I was wondering about the guys in the back. Like, I'd be like, man, can we switch? Let me get over there.
Throw some spears and shit.
I want to get let me get a kill over here, man. I'm just fucking back here.
I like the part where they where one of them pushes forward and it's like he's doing like his solo act.
Yeah, and then he gets back in line.
He gets back in line, and the Spartans push their shields over him, and then it's like
it's so calculated. It's awesome. It's like
with the voice, sound, the sound effects too, like where you everything is in unison, and it sounds like a larger army than it is, right? They sound so much more larger than they are.
Just the way their movements are, it's so crisp. Every fucking thrust is like super sharp. I'm like, God damn, man, these guys are a well-oiled machine.
Yeah, it's bloody too. I like it's bloody and gory where you see people just like it. Yeah, they're strong too because the Persians are wearing armor, but it's just going right through that shit. Well, they're wearing like hay armor or something.
And then Myles, we probably get my favorite scene in this whole movie here, where Leonidas just shouts out, "No mercy!" like super loud. He breaks out on his own and just eats these fucking Persians for lunch, dude. One of the best uses of slow-mo in movie history, I think, where the camera just constantly like zooming out and then zooming back in for like every kills that he's doing. Leonidas when he tosses. Leonidas tossing that spear when it does that punch in on the spear, it follows it, and then it takes out two dudes in one shot, and then he whips out his fucking badass sword and his abs. Dude, his abs are just fucking popping, shredded to shit. He's cutting dudes down left and right, and then at one point he chops that dude's leg off.
Yep.
And then he cuts him down midair. Dude, cuts him down midair. And then he knocks that one final dude down with his shield, and then he walks over to him in slow motion. Again, abs juicy as fuck in that scene. And then he finishes off the kill with a final stab. Like, that might be one of my favorite scenes. It's definitely my favorite scene in the whole movie, but one of my favorite scenes in any action movie we've ever seen. It's so really fucking good, dude.
Because he starts with the spear, he fucking flips out, and then that shot.
I love where he like fakes out one of the guys where he looks like he's about to like hit his spear like that way, but he like turns around and gets him like the other way. I'm like, dude, it's so good, dude. And you could see all of his abs, his legs, everything like super muscular. Dude, it's awesome, man. I love that scene. It's probably my favorite.
That scene is amazing. And we get the part where they're like, they're thirsty. Let's give them something to drink.
Let's give them something to drink. It's so
that iconic shot where they're getting pushed off of the ledge and
to the cliffs.
Like the black silhouettes falling down.
That's like straight from the comic, dude. I love that shot. That's my fucking favorite shot, dude. It is so good.
In slow motion. They're all in black and they're just like tumbling over the edge. Cliffs. And then you get that last one where he slices him and he's falling down into the cliffs. Oh man, it's a beautiful shot. It's a comic book shot.
From here on, it's just nonstop action too. It's like every fucking like other shot is like crazy. Yeah. They look thirsty.
They kill this.
Give them something to drink.
They kill this little contingency, and then they notice that the Persian army that they see off in the distance has shot arrows, and it's blacked out the sun.
Awesome, dude. I love that shot where it pans up to the sky and just blocks out everything. And they all take out their shields.
They all take cover, and they're all sitting there like.
I don't like that line though from that dude. Yeah. I hate that line. It's always bothered me.
Laughing?
Yeah, when the guy's just laughing. I hate his laugh, dude. It's fucking bothers me.
You had to say it.
I'm glad he got his head chopped off.
Oh fuck.
Fuck that guy.
Then we get round
even
2.
Leonidas is laughing in that scene though. I'm like, okay, all right, okay, maybe it's pretty good.
Yeah,
okay.
you get a laugh. You got a laugh, you know. Round 2.
Spartans versus Persians. After though, right when they get up, fucking Leonidas takes his shield,
Oh,
fucking breaks all the arrows off. I'm like, fuck yeah, dude, awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, we get that scene where he's just holding it to like
Yeah.
out, the body.
Dude,
It's just
awesome.
there, making us all look bad.
Just the hero shots on all this, where it's that low angle, you can see all of his fucking abs, and he just fucking breaks them all off in slow motion, dude. Oh.
It probably helps that like you said, you know, when Zack Snyder he turned that black all the way up, you get
that definition.
Shadows, intense shadows, like that lighting that comes from above at like a gym, you know, and you get that good
the best lighting, yeah,
the best lighting.
Where I'm like, oh, you know, maybe I can have that cheeseburger. I don't look too bad. I'm all right. I'm doing all right.
I'm fluffy, huh? Round 2, Spartans versus Persians. This time, the Persians attack on cavalry, horses, and they get mowed down. All the
spears. That one guy who just fucking flies off. Yeah. I like how they're like in that flying V formation too. That is so cool. So the horses like go around them and they just break off and just spear them. It's so good.
Yeah, the choreography in this is great. Yeah. You know, even though it's in slow motion where you can be a little more forgiving, it still looks well choreographed. You know, Leonidas meets with Xerxes and like I said, you know, the ego on this guy, walking out with motherfuckers carrying him.
Oh, dude, the steps that he takes, where it's the guys like, they stepping on their back,
and then the last guy is just bent over.
That sucks, dude. But I do love the way they portray Xerxes. They, you know, modulated his voice too. He's like a comic book character. It's fucking crazy. It's awesome.
He's like fucking like 8 feet tall.
He's like Darkseid from like DC Comics. He's huge.
Yeah. That voice too.
And when he like grabs him on the shoulders, his hands are like fucking like taking up all of his shoulders.
He's got the painted out gold nails. It's like piercings everywhere.
Fucking like I like the chain piercings that he has too. It's pretty cool.
And Xerxes, what a name, dude.
It's an awesome name. I love that name. Yeah. But the way Leonidas always said, Xerxes. So Xerxes,
he basically he gives Leonidas another chance to surrender, to submit. He said, "You will be second to me. You would answer to no one but me, and all you have to do is," he said, "the world will kneel at you. All you have to do is kneel at mine, at my feet or something." And we get this just fucking great fucking line, right? He said,
what is he saying? I don't remember. Oh wait, no, remember he was talking about like, he's like, the way you guys are fighting over here, I should have just brought our women out here. The way you yeah, he's like, the way you guys are fighting, I should have just marched our women out here. Honestly, you guys ain't got shit.
You guys got shit out here. He said, from what I've seen. And then they leave, and we're introduced to the Immortals finally. Who are,
dude, go ahead,
guys. It just looks so like
my favorite costumes, dude, in this whole movie. Maybe maybe one of my favorite ever. Like the all black, and they rock that kind of like samurai armor, especially the face mask. It's one of the coolest face masks, like a chromed out samurai mask, and they have the 2 swords in the back, like they're fucking Ninja Turtles. It's awesome. It's so badass.
They look disgusting.
Yeah, underneath it's disgusting.
Like the fucking nasty ass looking. Yeah.
Even like the VO when they're being introduced, the Immortals. It's so good.
They put their name to the test. Yeah. That part. They approach a wall of dead Persians where they that wall that they were building earlier.
That's right. Yeah.
And the Spartans are hiding on the other side, and we get that. What was it? What did he say? Just said push, right?
Spartans push. Yeah, and then they push the wall over.
It was a surprise attack, and they end up, and then we finally get a
that's when they break out the giant guy, or what's his name?
Well, the Arcadians come out for and they're like, come on, let's show the Spartans what we can do.
And then fucking Faramir's like, they're okay. Yeah, they get the job done, but they're fucking just wild as fuck. Yeah, you can see them like getting injured and shit, like not even caring. They're just swinging wildly. Yeah.
And the Immortals let their giant loose. The fucking big ass
that guy's like, just fucking cut me out. Yeah,
let me out, dude. This fight too between him, Faramir, and Leonidas. That part where they like save each other, and then
Faramir where he like dips him down, and then it gives him a flat top on his helmet.
Yeah, you can see like that slow-mo where he's throwing
Awesome.
the axe, and it like shaves off the very top of his helmet.
Awesome.
It's fucking badass. And we get the
dude, and he gets that dope ass like scar on his eye where it like cuts the helmet. I was like, oh, that's
cuts through the helmet.
Yeah,
and that's where we get the eye patch on Faramir. And then we get that gruesome like scene where he cuts off half of the giant's head almost, Leonidas. But it's like
cuts off like this part, and then the back part just like kind of peels off. Like,
it peels off
the back skin.
Dude, I was like,
dude, that part where he gets him in the bicep though, and he just like pulls it out. I'm like, oh, it's disgusting.
Oh man, dude, it's badass.
It's a good fight though. I like that fight a lot.
Then we get our next round, Spartans versus Persians 4, where we get they resort to their magic.
So cool,
sorcerers
dude.
And wizards.
God, it's
and
awesome.
We see we see the scene where they're throwing the Persians are throwing like these bombs,
like little grenades,
little grenades, and the scene where the Spartans are like rolling around like tactically. I like that part where the guy's just running.
That guy just fucking running through it though. He's just, but I like how the bombs explode. You get the shrapnel in like that guy's leg.
Yeah, the guy's leg.
Oh, that's smart. Little shrapnel pieces. But this is basically just horde mode at this point for the Spartans. Yeah. They're just staying in one place, and it's just wave after wave of like different enemies every time. It's really cool. But I love the outfits too that the magic dudes have, because they have like that helmet, but the chainmail makes it look like a beard, like where it kind of begins right here. I'm like, maybe they're trying to look like Merlin and shit with all the magic and stuff, because they're wearing like robes and they have like the chainmail beard, and they're throwing the bombs. I'm like, dude, that's so cool. And there's like smoke all over the battlefield, and there's sparks and shit. Yeah, and that one guy's just diving like left and right.
That one part where he goes in and he kills that one wizard.
Oh yeah, Michael Fassbender. Yeah, that was Michael Fassbender.
And then he does that slow-mo turnaround.
He does that spin, dude.
He's holding the shield up right here.
You can see his face. He's like, and it's just blowing past him, dude.
That is so bad.
Let's fucking go. What a shot.
Finally, and then, dude, Xerxes is like, he's pissed off at this point because he's mad. He's doing this. He's roaring at the sky. He can't believe he's fucking losing guys left and right. So he sends his beasts that he dispatches from half a world away. And they're just these giant elephants, like in King,
like Lord of the Rings, the Olifants.
Giant elephants, but they're gentle giants. They're easily scared, and so I hate this part.
I love elephants, man. Elephants are one of my favorite animals. So I'm like,
they push them over the cliff, and you see the elephants die. I'm like,
God damn it!
They weren't doing anything to anybody.
One of my favorite animals ever. Yeah, don't do that.
They're so smart. They never forget. So they win that one. Then we get a scene where they're being all lackadaisical, and the captain, what was his name? I can't remember his name.
He just call him the captain in this. Like, I even looked it up. I even looked it up on IMDb. I was like, no, just call him captain. Yeah, he's gonna be in next week's podcast as well. He's in Troy. He's also the right-hand man of Achilles in that movie. So he's just the right-hand man for all the badasses in this. Yeah.
Fuck yeah. His son gets decapitated. Big whoop. You fucking didn't like him anyways. He was being lax. He was being lax, bro.
Dude, he wasn't even wearing his helmet. I'm like, that's what you get, you fucking cocksucker. But I do like that scene, like right before where him and Fassbender were like fighting like back to back, and they're just like fighting a whole like horde of Persians around them. And I'm like, oh yeah,
are you still here?
Yeah.
They're doing a little back and forth.
They do like a bunch of like slow mo in that, which was really cool. But the guy's a cocksucker. I'm glad he's a cocky little shit. I'm glad he got killed. Fuck him.
And his dude, it's so like the captain. After that, when his son dies, he goes into that rage, and then you just feel for him because he's just like, he's just fucking.
The way he's killing him, he's just fucking left and right. Pop, pop, pop.
And he's so like, you said my son, and he grabs his fucking
my boy.
He's just fucking yelling, dude. I was like, oh my god.
Really good, yeah. And
Beautiful.
the way that they have to get like 3 guys to like pull them back, yeah. But the thing I didn't like though is like you could see the captain looking at his son. The son gets decapitated, but all the other soldiers are just walking away. They're like, "Well, that sucks, but our shift's over, so we're leaving."
Like, food's ready.
Yeah, they just like they look at him. They're like, "Okay, we're leaving. Fuck them."
Food's ready. Then we're back to Deformed Boy. And he's meeting with Xerxes, acting as a double agent because he's like, "Hey, Xerxes is like, I give you bitches."
We get some weird visuals. And another thing that makes me super uncomfortable is this scene because, I mean, there's a couple cuties in there, but most of them are all like deformed and shit. I'm like, "Ooh, this is weird." There's that woman that has like no arms and no legs. I'm like, what the fuck is going on in here?
There's a tranny or two in there.
Yeah, but Xerxes offers this man some Persian honeys to smooch on.
Persian puss.
Yeah, with those 3 girls. Yeah, and he's like, yes, I will do it. Whatever you ask me. If these 3 girls are gonna be with me, these little honeys, these Persian honeys, I'm all in.
Yeah, and in exchange, he the Hunchback in Notre Dame tells him of a secret path.
Right, that son of a bitch, man.
Yeah, that he took, and yeah, so you know where this is going. Fucking bitch ass motherfucker. The queen meets back at Sparta. The queen meets with McNutty, and she offers herself in exchange.
Uncomfortable scene, man.
Yeah, it's a very.
I hate rape scenes. I can't stand them. They're like so uncomfortable.
And we get the line from McNutty where he's like, "You will not enjoy this.
Yeah,
you will have no glory."
Hello.
He's just raping her, and she's probably liking it.
So he's doing it so aggressively. Like, God, man. Like, at least like spit on it or something. Like, you're just fucking going up in there. God damn.
Dry as fuck. God damn, that shit's gotta hurt. Nothing comes of that. Daxos. Yeah, he tells Leonidas that the Persians have found their secret path and are quickly approaching. Daxos, the Arcadian.
And they bail out, dude. I'm like, you fucking, like, bitches. How dare you?
Can't do this, you know? This is a death sentence. This is a suicide mission at this point. Which was a suicide mission from the beginning.
Oh, yeah.
Then Leonidas tells Faramir he's got to go home and he's got to tell the story. You know, he's got to tell the story of 300 Spartans.
I love that, yeah.
Putting their lives on the line, you know, and they're you know, because he
takes off the necklace and he gives it to Faramir. He's like, that's nothing needs to be said. Just give that to her. I'm like, oh, okay.
We get badass where they're just like standing by the fire and Faramir.
And then he kisses Faramir's neck. He's like, give this to her too. Right there, right on the neck, yeah.
He's like, he pinches his nipple. He's like, give her the one.
Grabs his ass. He's like, give her that too.
Do a little of this. She's gonna know what that is.
He said, can you pass on a message? Say, I want to squeeze them. She'll know what it means.
And then we get probably one of the most infamous lines from this movie. He said, ready your meals and eat hearty.
Yes.
Because tonight we dine in hell.
Yeah, that was all teeth, that one.
Yeah.
Dine in hell.
He widens his mouth. He really like.
He looks so menacing with the helmet on, though. You know what really makes it is the slight like guy liner that they put like underneath his eyes. Yeah. It makes him look way more menacing. Yeah,
I love it
because nobody else has it, so like they look kind of goofy without it. But like when he has it on, I'm like, oh yeah. I need that little like faded guy liner underneath my eyes.
Semi-pro where it makes him look more badass.
Yeah, mascara.
Finally, the queen, or back at Sparta, the queen meets with the council to plead for them again to send the rest of the Spartan army to fight. Otherwise, they face extinction, you know. McNutty interrupts, says the queen's been fucking dudes on the side.
Dude, they're hoeing it out here.
You know? Well, Leonidas was away. He's like, you can't trust this bitch.
He's like, hoeing it out. And he holds his fingers up. Go ahead and smell that.
Yes.
He goes up to the old guy. He's like, God, guess what we did last night?
The queen finally has it. She pulls her sword.
I forgot about that scene, dude. I forgot about that. That was crazy. I was like, oh shit.
And she stabs McNutty. exposing him for the double agent he is, because he drops a bag full of Persian coins.
What if those coins didn't
Same
drop
coins?
though?
Yeah.
Everybody would be like, well, what the fuck do we do now?
I don't know, dude. This fucking McNutty over here. The same coins that he used to pay off the priest, so you know he was working for Xerxes all along. Agent. If you didn't get that by now, the deception. And in this, after this, we get the final round.
Persians the fifth and final round, in this championship fight.
Yeah. And we get Xerxes meeting with Leonidas yet again. This time they have the high ground on that back path that they took with the arrows drawn.
Yeah, they're so fucked.
Army. Yeah, and it's just a small group of Spartans left where they're
I love that formation.
In that circle, and it's just Leonidas out in the front.
That's that red zone defense, like fucking everything you got, boys.
Give it all you got.
A goal line defense.
Xerxes gives Leonidas one last chance to kneel, and we see Leonidas. He's with the voiceover slowly. He said you get the voiceover of this of Faramir saying the wind.
Oh yeah, it cools the sweat on his neck. He looks up and he sees the birds. Yeah.
He said his helmet's a stifling.
Yeah, and he takes it off. I love that. Yeah, he takes it off. It's so good. He
said his shield is heavy, so he drops it.
Oh, it's so good.
And then we get this scene where he's dropping to his knees and he puts his fists on the ground and the wind is blowing and you get his cape just like flowing in the wind. And you're like, oh fuck, this is badass. But at the same time, he's kneeling. You think like, all right, he's given up. Like this is it. This is all he's got. And then
don't ever underestimate him ever again.
Then we get who was it? Michael Fassbender who jumps out of the pile.
Yeah, he said Delios, and he fucking just runs out, jumps off of Leonidas's back, and just I forgot he like stabbed somebody, but
he stabbed somebody and he's holding the sword like this, like ninja style, and then Leonidas just grabs the spear.
Doesn't he like stand up with the spear?
With these arrows flying by him, and the voiceover comes back and he's like, the helmet's narrowed his vision. He must be able to see. The shield threw him off balance. He must be low balance because the target is far. And he just fucking delivers.
I love that shot of the spear with like the mirrors like going across it. I'm like, fuck,
it was the steps. Dude. It was the steps.
It's so good. It's
going across and then it just punctures. It goes through
hits his cheek.
And it hits his cheek, and it shows that he's a mortal man.
He's like,
and then we cut back to Leonidas, who's like taking a knee. He's already got 2 arrows in him.
Dude, and the way he's like, when he takes that knee, you can see the arrows. Yeah. His abs are so fucking shredded. I'm like, god damn. But yeah, he has like one like in both of his chests. He's got like one in the gut. I'm like, you're done, dude. You're done.
Yeah, you're done. And it's just like a slow motion shot of everybody just.
But this scene though, where after he like takes that knee and he like kind of goes like on his arms, and then Fassbender like kind of reaches for his hand. I'm like, dude, that acting for Fassbender, where he's like about to cry and he's like, it's been a pleasure to fight by your side, my lord. He said, it's been a pleasure to live by yours. I'm like, fuck yeah, dude. What a fucking.
No, he said it's an honor to die by your side, Lord. He said it's been a pleasure to live by yours.
Oh, what an amazing. Because after that line too, where Xerxes was like, I would happily kill any of my guys to rule the world, and then where Leonidas is like, I'd happily die for any of my men. I'm like, yeah, dude, what a real dude right here.
And then we get the final shot of the arrows blacking out the sun again, and
yeah, he does that whole like little soliloquy. He's like, my queen, my love.
And we get that painting, that shot where he's just like, he's dead on the ground like this. Man, arrows and all of them, and they're all just, dude. If that doesn't look like a Renaissance painting to you, I don't know. It's like it looks so good. Even the way they die is so good. Faramir returns to Sparta and gives the queen back the necklace from Leonidas. And she already knows. I mean, we already knew. We had a feeling. And the council knows now of the atrocities that have happened, the war crimes that were committed. And we're back to current to the current timeline with Faramir leading the rest of the 10,000 Spartans.
God, just an
against the
amazing
Persian army.
fucking speech. Yeah.
And we get that final
Yeah.
where it's like a wave at
He
a
said,
at a stadium.
remember Leonidas and the 300.
I'm thinking like the people in the back are like, what the fuck is he saying?
That's like that one commercial with Napoleon. It was like where the guys in the back are like, what is he saying?
There's no megaphone at this time. Are they playing telephone? You know, the guy's just like passing the story along to the back. I don't know, but then we get the final shot of the 10,000 Spartans running.
He's just running, yeah.
Slow motion. We get Faramir.
What a ballsy move to have people running in slow motion. You could see everything in slow motion, so you got to be really ripped to be running in slow motion and not have everything jiggling. So, shout out to Faramir. Still, like, keep that shred, because if you're running, you got to keep it tight.
You keep that. Get that titty bounce either way. Shredded or not, you get a titty bounce. And that's it.
What a crazy ending. Great ending.
There's actually three of these movies. There's a third one.
I have not even bothered to even see if those other ones are even good at all. I don't think.
Well, there's a second one, the Rise of an Empire with Ava Green. You know. I think
Lena Headey comes back. I think in the third one or the second one. One of them.
She comes back in the second one. I don't know if there's a third. Is there a third one? But I know
there might be just a second one
in the make. There's another one that's gonna be. I seen it on. I don't know. I saw like they don't have production details really, but it's.
I don't know why they need any more of these. They should have just left it right at this. But let's go ahead and rank this movie compared to King Arthur. What do you think? This one better? King Arthur better?
King Arthur's here, and there's 300.
Yeah, I feel like this is definitely going to be the top dog. But when it comes to Deadliest Warrior, this is going to be a tough one, man. I think it's going to be Leonidas.
Okay, so we're going to go Leonidas, right?
Because, we got to go Leonidas, and then we're probably just going to have to go Arthur from the last movie, but Leonidas whooping Arthur's ass every single day of the week. Not even close. But I think at the end, it's going to be tough to do Arthur or Leonidas versus Achilles from the next movie, because those guys are just
it's really
swordsman
difficult because
ever.
Achilles is essentially a god too, you know.
That's right. Yeah,
it's really difficult, but yeah, you're right. I think Leonidas holds his own against Achilles, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it.
We'll burn that bridge when we get there. But next week we will be doing Troy, which I am so excited for, man. I haven't seen that movie in a minute, and I just fucking love that movie so much. It's one of my fucking favorites of all time.
It's got a star-studded cast.
Oh,
it's fantastic. And it looks great. You know the story of Troy. You know the story of Achilles. Like that's one of the most like told stories besides like Zeus and Hercules. Troy, Achilles, and that story of the Trojan horse. Everybody
I feel like that fight choreography is actually better than this movie too. Like the fight choreography in that is some of the best I've ever seen. But we'll get there next week. Myles, give them the plugs of where they can find our podcasts, and we're out for today.
SortaInteresting.com. That's where you can find this podcast. All 100 of our podcasts so far. This is our 100th episode, if you didn't notice. All of our plugs are on SortaInteresting.com, our youtube.com/SortaInteresting. So you go and find, put a name to a face. SoundCloud, podcast app for iOS, Play Store. Shout out the Huskies. Shout out Taryn. Go check his Linktree. Give him some love. His music is dope. We're looking forward to continuing this Deadliest Warrior podcast next week, and
can't wait for Troy. We got Gladiator after, and then right after that we're gonna start the Jurassic Park series, which I'm scared for, but I'm looking forward to it. Jurassic Park, my favorite movie of all time. But
which ones are we doing? We're just doing the 3, right?
We have to do them all, I think. You know what I mean? We don't have to. I mean, it's our podcast. We don't have to, but
I'll do it.
We can do whatever.
We can do it. We can.
Shit, that's coming out in like 2 months, so I gotta see when those tickets are. Yeah, I gotta see if those tickets are able to go on sale. Yeah. So But yeah, that's it for today. We will see you next week for Troy, but have an interesting day, everyone. Happy 100th episode.
Happy
Myles.
Easters too.
Happy Easters.